Hey, Ron. Thank you for joining us. Got 5 people so far, so let me send some messages, but we're still here. Afternoon. So we're gonna start in 1 minute. Wow, time flies. Just to let you guys know, our microphones are mute. So if you wanna, especially the team members, the international empowerment coaches, if you guys wanna unmute your microphone, you're welcome to do so. I'm gonna be putting my earphones so I can make sure that you guys can hear me well. So it is 9 a.m. and let's be happy. Thank you. Well, first I want to thank you guys for being on time. That is great. To start, well, first, welcome everybody. Welcome again. My name is Ofelia Madrigal. I am a life coach and a CBT practitioner. I am located in the US, and I am one of the members of International Empowerment Life Coaches. And here we go. We're gonna start by introducing. So this is Dan. Welcome everybody. This is, thanks Dan. Thanks to Mind Your Mind today. And it is gonna be guided through the International Empowerment Life Coaches. To do that, I'm gonna allow the team to introduce themselves. Just let you guys know that your microphones are mute. If you guys want to unmute now. So we're gonna start introducing John. John, are you there? Let's see. Okay. Ron, I'm sorry, I don't see you. You wanna unmute your microphone? Okay. Okay, Ron, I don't know if you were able to unmute your microphone. What about you, Bana? Is it me? Can you guys hear me? Anybody here on the chat? On the chat, please let me know. Anybody here? Bana, do we have Tamim, Bana, Ivanildo, George, Maria del Sol? Anybody here? Well, we have the chat group. Let me know if you guys can hear me. I don't know if you guys are able to hear me. Please don't leave me alone. Unmute your microphones. Yeah, Tamin, are you in the group, Tamin, now? I see I've been receiving some messages. Some members of the group, they haven't been able to join. Hopefully they have no problem in logging in. Oh, that's interesting. There are some participants who they're waiting for the host to let them in. I don't see how is that possible. So let me see if I can send them some messages really quick. Just use ID. Okay, participants, thank you for your patience. This is the first time that we're doing a group Zoom. We have done it on Skype, which many times it can be a lot easier to manage. But because in the Skype, it makes it a little bit more difficult for us to leave it open for people that we don't know, without about, you know, making it possible by doing it through Zoom. So thank you for your patience. And I'm just waiting for participants to be here. Mm-hmm. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. Okay, hold on. I see that I need to send. So I'm going to unmute all the microphones now. And then after that, we can mute microphones. So I see George, thank you for being here. I have Ron. And I need to admit some people. I don't know, this is weird, so I'm sorry. So I see that I need to click admit. Sonia, thank you for being here. Diane, Rose, thank you. Ricardo, thank you. Vanna, thank you for being here. Chito, thank you for being here. Ricardo, thank you for being here. I have 2 iPhones. I have Sonia, thank you. Vanildo, okay, Vanilda, clicking at me now. And 1 iPhone now. There you go. I don't know, why do I have to click on it? But that's great. So as long as it is working now. Let me know if there is anybody else who would like to get admitted. And I have everybody unmuted. So now if you guys want to admit, now if you guys want to unmute your mute your microphones. Thank you, David, for being here. Thank you, Malka. I can see that there are some people who I needed to admit. I don't know why. Is that a new thing? A new feature in Zoom? Hopefully I am gonna be there. I can be doing the admitting and unmuting microphones. For now, I would like everyone who's not gonna be participating and who's not part of the group of the international empowerment coaches, you guys want to unmute mute your microphones. So again, I want to start by welcome everybody. And I am busy today. I am very busy today. It is off now. So welcome everybody. Again, my name is Ofelia Madrigal. I am a life coach and CBT practitioner, and I am one of the members of international empowerment coaches who are the ones that are making this Zoom happening. So thank you for being here. First, we're gonna start introducing some of the members. So to start, we're gonna introduce Ron. I'm pretty sure I saw you here, Ron. Ron, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Ron Jones and I'm from the UK and I'm a strategic intervention life coach.
Thank you, Ron. Where are you located at again? I had some
in the
struggle.
UK, United
In
Kingdom.
the UK. Thank you, Ron. Thank you. Ron is another of the members of the International Empowerment and Coaches. Now we have Vanna. Vanna, are you there?
Yes. Ophelia, can you please mute everybody else? Because you, as I understand, you can mute other people and I can still hear, you know, the sounds. There's a few people that haven't muted yet, and I can hear dogs and radios and everything.
I see. I'm sorry. I did have that power to mute. Okay, I'm gonna mute everyone. Current new participant will be muted. Okay, all the participants muted. Now, Vanna, unmute yourself.
Yes, yeah, okay.
Yes. Cool.
So, yeah, I'm a hypnotherapist and life coach, and I have a special interest in fears and phobias. And I'm actually researching this for my university right now. That's all about me.
Yes, excellent.
Hello.
Thank you. Welcome. And now we have Tamim. Tamim, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, hello. My name is Tamin Faridi, and I'm based in France. I'm a published author and also certified master coach, and I work exclusively with women who are going through challenging life transitions and who struggle to find their voice and a sense of their true self.
Oh, thank you, Tamim. So thank you. Welcome aboard too. So now we also have Ivanildo. Ivanildo, are you around here? Can you share a little bit about you? He's another member of the International Empowerment Coaches who's making this possible.
Hi, my name is Ivanildo. I live in the Netherlands with my wife and 4 children. I'm a strategic intervention coach, and I am very passionate about helping people live their lives from a place of passion, purpose, and power.
Excellent. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you for being with us and welcome aboard as well. We also have George. George, are you around here? Would you be able to introduce yourself? Remember to unmute your microphone.
Can you hear me all right?
Yes, we hear you now.
So I'm in Thailand currently. I've been here for a while. I'm a coach and hypnotherapist, and I've been working in behavioral change since about 1994.
Awesome.
Cool. So
Thank
for a little
you.
while already.
Yeah, thank you for being with us, George, and welcome aboard. We also have Malka. Malka, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Malka Ahern. I'm a former student of the Tony Robbins Mastering Program, and I work with a quantum health process called the Divine Reveal.
Excellent, Malka. That is great. Thank you for being here. David, are you around here? David, I believe he's somewhere in the background. David, would you like to introduce yourself as well?
Hi. Can you see me all right?
I see you, David. Would you like to introduce yourself to the group? Thank you. Welcome to our first Zoom. Would you like to let us know who you are and where you're at?
Well, you called me David. It's David Hickey. I'm in Canada, in Ontario, in a small city outside of Toronto.
Good.
I work with people in training, leadership, performance, and I'm a master NLP practitioner, strategic intervention coach, life coach, and my family is here. My daughter just came back from university for the summer.
That's excellent.
We're all together in isolation here, but it's great to see everybody.
Good to see you, David. We also have Maria Del Sol. She's from Brazil and she's an international life coach. And we also have Annie. She's in Norway and she's also an international life coach who I don't see them here on the screen, but they will be part of the International Empowerment Coaches. We're going to be here making these Zooms happen. So first of all, why Zoom? As you guys know, everybody know around the world, we are going through difficult moments with the COVID-19. It is not easy being confined in 4 walls. Many people, many of us might still be working, but the majority of us are not. We are working. And we can hear in the news, we can hear in social media, we might even hear in the newspaper if there is some people around here who, David, would you mind if you mute your microphone? And there is also some people who might be reading newspapers or reading information and have to protect ourselves, have to take care of ourselves physically and health-wise. We can see that there is many recommendations by the health professionals that are given to us, like how to stay away from people 6 feet apart, and wash your hands for 20 minutes and stay at home, and other recommendations, kind of like eat healthy, eat vegetables, eat fruits, drink more water, take more probiotics. and also take some vitamins B6 and 12, especially to strengthen our immune system. But there is not that many recommendations on how to take care of our mind. And we know that mind is everything. Mind is so powerful. So that's why we are here, and we put this together to share it not only to the participants who are here with us, but to share it with the world. And this is the first Zoom of International Empowerment Coaches, of many, many Zooms that we are gonna be, making happen. So to start, let me share, I'm gonna be sharing the screen because we have a PowerPoint. We have a PowerPoint, and I wanna make sure that you guys can see where we at. So I have the PowerPoint here. On this one, I'll minimize it. I'm gonna open this page. So this is who we are. This is Mind Your Mind Today. Mind Your Mind Today come along with International Empowerment Coaches. Mind Your Mind Today is making also this Zoom happening along with International Empowerment Coaches. Here we have the title, How to Cope with Overwhelm During COVID-19. Let me see. No, I don't want to mess up. I wanted to open the whole screen, but I don't really want to mess up the screen, so I just leave it like that. And this is the agenda. This is the agenda. We're going to be talking about don't stress over what you cannot control, one belief at a time, an internal retreat, car meditation. So we have these three techniques that are going to be presented to you guys, and are going to be information that is very, very valid information, and that is going to help you how to stay or how to keep your mind healthy in a moment of COVID-19 crisis. So to start, we're going to give, we're going to let Ron giving us more information about how is it possible for us to don't stress over what we can control. So Ron, thank you for being with us, and I'm sharing out the screen so you can share with us more information.
Okay, thank you, Ophelia. Okay, I'd like to introduce something called the control model. And what this does is it reduces the stress that you have by making sure that you only focus on the things that you can control. Okay, so as you can see from the picture, can you scroll up the model, Ophelia? Oh, there it is, sorry, it's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so it has 3 dimensions, okay? So the first one is, on the outer ring, is things that you can't control or influence. And this is where a lot of people get a little stressed from, because that's where they spend a lot of their time. Okay, so I'll give you a few examples. I mean, around the world, the COVID-19 is everywhere, obviously. The things that we can't control are things like the government lockdowns, the rules that we have to abide by, the financial crisis, okay? And some people are working from home, they're not used to that, their family's not used to being together so much. So, this is all out of our control. When we go to the grocery store as well, you got to line up, people are getting frustrated, and that's not out of your control, that's out of your control as well. So the social media aspect is, for me anyway, I've been watching a lot more social media, and there's so much negativity out there and fake news, and we can't control that. We can't control other people's behavior or what they say about us or whatever, anything like that. So, and we spend so much time doing those things and spending time there. So no matter how much we try to stop doing it, okay, or letting them do that to us, we can't change it. So we have a choice of where we focus our emotions, our time, and on things that we can't control. Okay, so going from the second ring is things that we can influence. Okay, we can influence our friends, our family, our children. We can share positivity. We can give them advice on, how to stay safe, things like that. But we only have a slight influence over other people. Okay, now the one that's the most important is the center dimension. Okay, this is what we can control. okay? So the only thing you have absolute control of is yourself, your emotional responses to whatever happens in your life, okay? You can control staying at home, washing your hands, like Ophelia said, you know, being socially responsible when you are out, keeping, you know, your distance from people, going for walks. So the choice is yours, really, okay, where you spend your time. Do you want to spend it focusing on, you know, things you can't control, things you can not control and influence, or the things you can influence? Okay, that is a decision that you can make. Okay, so at the end of the day, you know, some of you might be wondering where you want to spend your time, you know, focusing on things you can't control, things you can control or influence. Now, Vanna is going to share something in the next section about how you can do this. And this is one of the things you can do is by developing a new belief. Okay, so I think what is necessary now is when you when we finish this, you're going to get a copy of the slide, I think, in the email, is it, Ophelia?
That is correct. It's going to be via email.
Okay, so what you can do is you can write a list of all the things that you, on the outer dimension, okay? All the things you can't control, and then the ones that you have an influence on, and then the ones you can control. And from that list, you can decide where you want to spend your time. If you spend your time in the outer dimension, you're going to create a lot of stress for yourself. You're going to get very overwhelmed, okay? If you spend most of your time in the center dimension, focusing on yourself and what you can control, you will reduce the stress. I've been doing this for a number of years, and it has taken about 95% of the stress out of my life. And it just makes my life much more calm and collected. It's really nice feeling to be in that place. So that's the homework basically that you have, is by writing these things down and finding out where you spend your time and decide where you really want to spend your time. Okay, so that's pretty much it for me, Ophelia.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ron. And so remember, we are going to be having some space, some time at the end, so you guys can share, ask some questions if you guys have questions.
Can I make a comment?
Sure, absolutely, Malka.
Fantastic. I just want to mention with the 3 areas, lots of times people mistake the areas that they have influence over the areas that they can control. So lots of times people think that they can control their family. They control because they have a say, but it's really it's really frustrating and can cause a lot of anxiety if we're trying to control things that we really just have influence over. So we have to really make that distinction of these people, these events, these things around us where we only have influence, and really focus the area of control on ourselves.
Yeah. Malika, do you mind if you mute your microphone? Thank you, Malka. Thank you for sending us, giving us that extra information. Really quick, I need to be multitasking, and I am terrible at multitasking. I have some people sending me information, same thing, they need to get admitted by me. And when I'm running the show, and it is a lot more difficult for me to ask to let people to go into the screens and also do the admitting people. Malka, next time we have to arrange that. I need.
Can you make me a co-host?
How do I do that?
I think it's on the participants list, one of the choices.
Participants, the choices. Is that here right now where I can see it?
It's on the bottom as a participants list.
Manage participants. So I click there. And where do I go? I just see the screen.
Look for my name.
To everyone, Malka. Okay, I have private. I can chat with no one has everyone to. No, it doesn't give me that option, Malka.
Okay, I thought I had it in there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the technical issues that we're having. Thank you for hanging in there. And yeah, we'll make sure next time I have, that's something new, we didn't know we were gonna be going through having this. Okay, I have this. Other participants asking me to go in, so thank you for joining us. I don't know, we'll see how it goes. I'm just gonna be allowing people to go in once we are done with PowerPoint for section. So we have Ron was sharing with us about how to cope with overwhelm, how to not stress, and of the things that we cannot control. So again, here we go. I'm gonna start sharing the screen again. So we're gonna give welcome now, Tameen. I know we have Bana. Bana is gonna be sharing about one belief at a time. So we don't experience overwhelm during the COVID-19 and we start panicking. So let me share screens now. We have Bernard. Can you guys see my screen? You guys do? You guys just click thumbs up. You guys see my screen? So Bana.
Yes. Well,
yeah, thank you for being here. I'm sorry, I'm full hands. I'm trying to figure out things. Thank you.
We'll get there. Okay, now for this part of the presentation, I will need a volunteer in the next minute or two. You're too keen, David. Okay, I'll speak about the one belief at a time, what that is and how it can help us. So the majority of the problems, the stress, the suffering, it is caused from our thoughts and beliefs. Of course, there is a biological component, but normally this is a very small number of people may have a biological problem. Most of the people, the majority of the people, it is their mental thoughts that create that kind of stress reaction. And of course, if you go to the doctor, the first thing they will do is, offer you a choice of medicines, kind of thing, the, medicinal approach. But here, where I'm going to focus is how our thoughts affect our physiology, our stress levels. And I have been using myself personally Katie Byron's approach. I found this extremely useful in changing my beliefs and getting rid of my suffering and my own stress. And I really believe in her approach, in her system. It's very simple, in my opinion, even simpler than other approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy and everything. I'm sure everything has got its place. But this is what I found really helpful in my life. And I have used it with other people too. This is how it works. I mean, you can download the worksheet from Katie Byron's website. But here are the 4 key questions that lead you out of that stress. So if you have, you say, oh, if you think you can't do something, oh, I can't do this, and I really want to, or then if you change your mindset, you'll be able to do it. It's all starts from here. Or perhaps you say, I'm stressed, but normally the stress, the suffering, this is your belief, this is your thought, this is your tabletop, okay? And that tabletop has got legs, and legs is your evidence. I'm stressed because, and that's the because of the COVID-19, because I'm isolated at home, alone. So those are your evidence. But once you start questioning those evidence, you knock those legs under that belief, that thought, and then you find your freedom. This is a kind of meditative approach, and you sort of meditate on your belief, meditate on the consequences, and then meditate on finding a turnaround, a solution. It's quite an amazing system. That's my personal belief, and it uses a lot of the Buddhist philosophy. This one belief at a time, challenging your limiting beliefs that causes you to feel trapped, and allowing you to find freedom through this meditative approach, taking you from the problem all the way through to the solution. So any questions? Or who's a volunteer? If David wants to be, so what I will need is there something you can't do and you really like to do and it causes you stress? Or is there a feeling that comes up? So is there a thought or is there a feeling? Let's start with one thing so I can take you through this process, and then hopefully you can go and explore this more. I will actually, hopefully, maybe Ophelia, we can even add this worksheet later on our Facebook or something.
Absolutely, yeah, we have it. We actually have the website written down here on the PowerPoint, www.thework.com. So if participants are interested in going there, they can either go there, but we can also add it at the Mind Your Mind Today Facebook page, where we can add the PDF for people to download it. Or at the end, we're gonna have Ivanildo giving us more information, and where they can send us their information so we can send them the work and we can send them the PowerPoint.
Yes,
right?
So yes, there is a worksheet through that website, but we can even share our worksheet through our Facebook group or page.
Absolutely.
So anybody would, is David happy to still go ahead with it, or
let's see if David's microphone is working. I heard some noise on the background. So David, would you be willing to participate? And also, let's check first at your microphone, otherwise we'll have to find another participant.
My microphone is working.
Cool, yeah, yeah, it's perfect.
And one of the things that is causing me, is it stress or is it a belief that's causing me stress? Which one is it, Vanna? Is it the belief that...
if you say I am stressed because, let's keep it simple, okay? And then we can, see how it goes. We can explore it more, but let's keep it simple. I feel stressed because...
My son is not at school and he's moving on to high school this year, and I feel that this is interrupting his preparation. Even though they give him online school and a Google Classroom, he's by himself, and when parents are always around and saying, have you done your schoolwork? Have you done your schoolwork? The response is, stop annoying me. And so this is one thing. My wife, they closed her where she works, they closed it down. And now she's sitting at home. And that gives her an opportunity, yes, to start thinking broader and what else is coming up, or if she can do something different. But mostly it's stress about, okay, the government's going to provide money. When is that going to come? She's not going to work. They're not paying her. The government says they'll pay her, but they're not doing it yet. So that's,
okay.
How do we plan that?
Let's start with one thing at a time. Shall we start with your son or your wife? Or, shall we start with one thing at a time rather than
everything?
trying to resolve everything.
Let's see. Okay.
Yes.
Out of the 6 or 7, let's take the first one. And I don't know how.
So you're saying, I am stressed because my son is not at school. Is that right?
Yes, I'm stressed because my son is not being able to get ready for high school. I'm not worried about his work. I'm worried about him getting habits and be in the school frame of mind.
Okay, I get it.
I'm stressed about him not being ready to go there.
Okay. Now, Katie Byron's approach is like the 4 steps. Okay, and I can totally identify with you because I've got my 10-year-old and I am like freaking out. I had a private tutor long before because I was so concerned. And, you know, I had to learn and see things differently because I value education so much and I let go. And, you know, there's always the yin and the yang, okay? There could be like, oh my God, that's the worst thing that can happen to a child. But also it could be the best thing that happened to a child.
It gives him independence.
Yes, you know, there could be so many other positive things we can't even consider at the moment. Well, let's start. Let's start with the process, okay? So you're saying you're stressed because of your son is not being able to get ready for high school. Is it true? And now look at that. You're sitting there, okay? Think of yourself at the moment. Let's meditate in that, okay? You're sitting on your sofa thinking, my son is not being able, I'm not sure, maybe you're waking up in the morning, find a moment, or even now, when you are sitting and thinking and getting stressed about it. Let me know when you've got that moment.
It's right here. Just go, oh, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So is it true? Is it true that, you know, you are stressed? Your son, is it true that your son is not being able to get ready for high school? Is that true?
That's not a truth because it hasn't occurred.
It's not,
So
okay.
It's not true.
In a way you said no. Okay. The second question was, can you absolutely know that it's true? And you already said, no, it's not entirely, you know, you can't absolutely know that that's true.
No.
But you're still stressing about it, okay? Now, how do you react? What happens? So here are the consequences, okay? Meditating on the consequences. What happens when you believe the thought, my son is not being able to get ready for high school? What happens? How do you react?
I react by looking at what the schedule is. How can I help him create a schedule that works? And I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to find time during the, okay, this is the time you should go do that. And you're not finding the time, you're occupying yourself, you're distracting yourself. How do I find time for him? That's one of the consequences is I don't even know how to find time for myself. So how am I going to find time for him? And what can I do about that? How do I find a way to give him a schedule when maybe he doesn't want to participate in that schedule?
Yes.
So I'm constantly being distracted. When I see him just sitting there, that's a distraction.
Yes. Well, have you, I mean, I don't know, did you speak with him? Did you say, you know, 10 minutes a day, half an hour a day? Is that possible? Did you try that? Even the practical approach?
Yes.
And if that, yeah.
And then it becomes, stop nagging me.
Oh, yes. Okay. So you react, you are nagging. Okay. This is not, this is working then. This is playing on your mind, you're nagging him. That's how you react, okay?
Well, he tells me I'm nagging him.
Yes.
Stop nagging me. You're talking way too much. And so now I don't know what, I start questioning how my approach is and I get distracted by that.
Yes.
How am I approaching him? And well, I didn't approach him right. Okay.
Yeah, so when you do that, okay, because that's how you react, you're nagging him because it's so important in your mind. What kind of emotions arise within you when you go after him? When you have that thought? When you have that thought, my son is not being able to get ready for high school, what happens to you?
I think I'm missing something.
You're missing, but you know, how is your stress levels? You said yourself that you're stressed.
I'm not capable. what am I missing? I'm
Is
not
that okay? So you
capable.
feel, okay. You feel not
I'm
capable.
missing something. Not
Mhm.
capable to move him
Mhm.
in the direction that I want him to go.
Okay. Now I will. It is. I want to get somewhere there. I want to ask you the 3 questions that Katie Byron asks. Says, is this your business? Is this someone else's business? So are you in your own business? Are you in somebody else's business? Or are you in God's business? COVID-19 is God's business.
Yes,
Okay? Your son, it's his business.
that's his business.
That's his business.
And
Whose
how he
business are you
managed.
in? In whose business
Well,
are you in?
I'm in the father business. I look at that role as father as finding a guiding way, finding a way to set up some not guidelines or boundaries, but ways to have him be guided in decisions that he makes. And look at that and see if that's working, if I'm doing that fatherly thing to give him insight or some examples. I have a lot of experience. And I have a lot of experience at success, at accomplishment, and failure.
Yes.
And
Did
when
you listen to your parents? You had to find through your own way or your own errors, most likely.
Oh, I have a very vivid image of my parents sitting me down at various times in my life and trying to talk to me and say, oh, you're going down the wrong road, or you have so much potential, and these constant conversations. And it always seemed like, yeah, well, I got to go. It's nice to have a talk, but I got this to do. I got to go and do this. And it's the same thing that's happening here.
You listen, okay? Now you achieved, okay, through your own path. You followed your own path. It's good to hear it from your parents, but you follow your own path. And now you're becoming a copy of your parents in a way.
And how are you supposed to? We're very skilled. And in that skill, my belief is I ought to be able to cope. I ought to be able to make a shift. I ought to be able to see his reaction and let go of that whole thing and look for another approach, another way of speaking.
Yes,
Something
we'll get
that
there.
he'll feel. Yes.
We'll get there.
So
yeah. So just a second, just to make sure to get this picture, okay? You know, you're stressed because your son is not being able to get ready for high school, and there's a sense that you're chasing him, you're nagging. That's how you react. You're nagging. So is there a reason that does not cause stress for you to carry on nagging him? Is there a peaceful reason for you to keep doing that? Not just nagging him. Is there a reason for you to keep that thought, that belief? Is there a peaceful reason? Is there a reason that will cause peace, keeping the thought, my son is not being able to get ready for high school? When you keep that thought, look how you become. Look who you become. Is there a
when
good reason? Yeah, is it yes or no?
About he's not getting ready for high school.
But is the thought, when you keep that thought, is there a peaceful reason? Something?
No, it's not.
There's not.
No peace in that.
No peace in that.
No. That causes distraction in that. What do I do now?
And when you're lost, what does he learn? When you feel lost and think, oh my God, I'm not enough, I'm not inadequate, how does he feel? How does he react?
He's not he's not getting anything.
It's
He
hard.
looks at me and just goes, again, just, it's not, oh, what's he saying? Or maybe I should listen. He just turns around and says, yeah,
He says, you need to learn a lesson.
yes, I do. And how is it to do that when you are this person? So I'm working on, he's not a child, he's this person that I have a relationship with, but he's also an independent person, and he can
Yes.
make decisions, and he
Yes.
can choose what's going to work for him. And when he makes a choice that is not working,
Yes.
is it my perspective, is his perspective? I look at that and go, listen, you got 2 projects you have to hand in on Friday.
Yes.
Where are they at? Oh, I'll get to them.
Whose
Maybe
business is it? Whose business is it?
that's his business. And the consequences are for him.
Yes.
And if he has to give up something to go do that, well, he's going to give up a little bit until he starts to have consequences. And do I want him to have those consequences? Or do I want him to try and do I want to guide him to make a decision that doesn't allow him to have a ongoing consequence?
So, you're trying your best, but it's causing that conflict, that, yeah?
Yes, I'm still causing the conflict.
The friction.
I'm,
And wow, I mean, you yourself said, when you believe, my son, oh my God, I can see his future. I know his future is a dead end.
yes,
You're stressed out, and you admit that. You transmit that.
yes. And that stress is transmitted in the way that I think I'm guiding him, or the way I speak to him, or
Yes.
how I introduce the subject.
And then he becomes more resistant.
Yes. So then
So-
I say, okay, I'm not doing it well. I need to. So my belief is,
It's a catch-22, isn't it?
yes.
Let's
So,
try
as you
and
said,
change things. Let's try and change things. Yeah. Let's move on to the 4th step. Is that okay? The final
yes,
step.
yes, we already got
As we
out.
said, as we understand now, what you tell me is this is not serving you. That
Neither
thought.
one of us.
Neither. Yes. Not you, not the other person. And and you can speak from experience because that's what your mom and dad did to you.
Yes, exactly the same.
Okay. Isn't it funny how we are products of our parents?
And
So the
sometimes
final
without
belief,
knowing it.
the answer is the question. Sorry, the final question is: who would you be without? Actually, no. There's a couple more things, but yeah, who would you be without the thought to your son? Who or what are you without the thought? The thought. My son is heading for.
He's not being prepared for the next step in his life. And who would I be
Yes.
if I didn't worry about that? Or I didn't,
Yeah.
I don't like
If you
that
didn't
word
have that
worry.
thought, if you didn't have that thought in your head.
I wouldn't be distracted. I would be more attentive to what he's going through. I would be able to be more attentive to what's happening with him and not be thrown to that thought every time.
Oh, wow.
So if I didn't have that thought, then I would be more attentive to what he's going through and his actual, what he needs, not me doing it for him, not me telling him what to do, but being able to be attentive enough to, I'm not worried about that. Let's worry about, let's have you tell me what it is you need to do. And let's.
To support him.
Yes, ask questions. And that's
rather than trying to guide and lead, to support.
Yeah, it's different. More coaching him.
Yes.
That would be that would be a thing to do, is to be involved with him in that aspect. He's grown. He's an independent person. So if I didn't have that, if I just dropped that whole thing and stopped worrying about, oh, there I go, stop giving that energy, then
wasting the energy.
I would move on a path towards a more productive result, on a way.
How would you do that? Can you give me a little example? What would be the first thing you would do?
Leave him alone. Let him decide that he's in a position that he doesn't like, that he needs to do something. And maybe in conversation, when he brings up the conversation of just, I just found out that this is happening. And I said, well, how is that happening?
Yes.
When did you find this out? And is it?
So you become more curious about his life.
Yes, more curious and more engaged in what he's living, rather than molding him to what I think.
Yes.
Even though
How
I've
does
gone
that feel to you? How does that feel? Not having that thought. How does it feel?
Well, already I can see, I feel that I'm not going to be reactive.
But what will be?
Non-reactive. I would be
non-reactive. And does that feel better?
Yeah. That's one thing that would really change the dynamic of what's going on right now. This wouldn't have occurred if he went to school every day. He would have the school that he goes to.
Yes.
And come home, and the normal question would be, how was it today? Do you have anything to do at home that you need to have some time to do? And it would be chunking. If he's going to school, then it would be chunking, rather than that's all right here.
Yes.
And there's no support for him.
Mm-hmm.
I would be less reactive, more attentive, and
more present, clear-minded, more clear-minded. Really.
Yes, clear-minded and being present.
Yes, present, because you're thinking of the future. You're not living in the present. This is how things are.
How clever. And as someone that's committed to his life, that commitment has to show up as support,
yes,
attention,
yes,
being engaged with him, being present with him, all those things.
Present with his feelings, with what his experience, what he's going through.
Yes, and asking him about that.
Wow.
Asking him about that.
Oh wow, that's amazing.
It
gives me goosebumps actually. I'm learning from my son, okay? And I'm in a similar situation.
And one of the things is to appreciate his frustration. I'm just realizing now that he doesn't get to see his friends. He doesn't have the activity that he normally has, and he has no alternatives. He says, well, can I go see my friends at the park? We'll be at the park And you go, no, because you can't go to parks anymore.
No.
So he has to sit here. And what is his one outlet? He doesn't have anything other than to sit down and do schoolwork or something else.
Oh wow. Yeah. Yes.
How do I appreciate his frustration?
Oh wow. That's such a compassionate angle.
Yeah, because I think I've gone through that. I've gone through that where I haven't, where I want to do something, it's not available for me to do, and I have to fill my time with something else that I don't feel productive in. I just feel like I'm filling time. I feel like I'm just sitting here waiting until I can do something, but now I just have to fill my time.
Okay.
What am I going to do? Puzzles? Coloring? It's like that.
Yes, you have all the time in the world to decide and explore and be curious about your life as well.
We'll do, right?
Yeah.
We'll have this time of our
One more
lives.
question. I have one more thing, final.
Sure.
Just
Go
finish.
ahead,
It's
Bana.
okay? It's the turnaround now, okay? David, so when you have, let's see if that fits your reality. We could try to create a new belief, a new reality. My son is being prepared for the next step. And what I'm going to ask you is, I'm going to ask you to give me some evidence. Why, how is he being prepared for the next step? Because that's you replace your thought, you know, your negative kind of limiting thought, belief, with the opposite. My son is being prepared for the next step. And I'm going to ask you for some evidence. How is he being prepared?
He's being attentive. I see him being attentive to his online work. And this is totally new for him. It's not been, yes, they had a Google Classroom that he could upload. All he did was upload his work to that. And it wasn't very interactive. Okay. They're preparing a more interactive setup for him. But one of the things that he does is he sits down and devotes some time to that.
Yes.
What I think about that is not important. What I think about that, really, I got to let go of that. I got to let go of all the things that are through my interpretation.
Yes.
So now the evidence I have is that he's actually sitting down in front of the computer.
And doing something. Not only that, can I give some more, okay, help here a little bit? And I'm going to give, I'm going to ask one more turnaround. I'm going to ask for one more turnaround. So he's been prepared because he is doing the University of Life. Yeah?
Yes, he's doing that. And he's doing that on his own.
It's hard.
Yes, it is hard. And what experience does he have? He's got 15, 14, 13 years of school experience. And how much school experience do we all have?
And all the hormones raging, all the hormones at that age.
There's
okay,
so much to do.
So, you know, so you're happy with that he is being prepared for the next step. You see some evidence in that, okay? Now, I'm going to ask you one more thing. I'm going to ask you, David, to take that on board and say, I am not prepared for the next step, for the next graduation. How are you doing that? And you are not prepared mentally for the next step.
Yes. How is it, even this next step? How am I going to, this is totally going to be a whole new world.
So how can you work on yourself to get yourself ready for the graduation?
Yes. And for that next part, he's changing worlds. He's moving out of one into another.
He is.
And
Your son, but well, if you just put your focus on just on you and what's happening
just
up
on
here,
me.
just
Yes.
on you.
That's on me. I don't know. How am I going to be prepared for that when I have no idea?
Living in the present, we said it. The present is a gift. That's why they call it the present.
And what I need to let that go and be there when he says something about it. Yeah, I got all this experience. I've got all this background. I remember high school. I remember that I did well in one thing. I didn't do well in the other. And I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to have that. Okay. You have, and I have, this repertoire of things available, but you just don't come along and say, okay, and dump it all on. Just, oh, here's everything I know about this. Here you go. Just put that in next to your desk or next to the computer. Here you go. And I'm giving this guy that's got a library of 15 years, and I'm giving him the 40-year encyclopedia.
Oh, yeah, oh my God.
Here, put that on your shelf. You had me realize that I'm not attentive to him. I'm attentive to me. This
to the
is
fear. Of what's going to happen, no?
Yeah. If he's not doing the things the way I think he should be doing them, then what's the result going to be that he gets? Ophelia's nodding her head. The result he gets, that's the result. That's what it's going to be, what he gets. And in being attentive to and being present with that attention is going to create a whole different, I'm not going to be annoying anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Because I'll be present. If I'm
and let go. Is that okay to let go?
Yeah, just let go, and be attentive to what's present with him.
That's it.
And his frustration, and be there with the questions and
trust in him as well. Trust in his. Trust that he will fail and learn through this. That's the university of life.
You asked for evidence. This boy gets only 90s in his schoolwork, and I should just let him go and do that.
It's great information. Thank you. I want to thank you guys, Bana, for walking us through the whole work. And thank you, David, for allowing us to, to hear a little bit about what's going on with the relationship.
A little bit. What was this, a half an hour?
A little bit. And, we'll have kids on our house right now because they're not going to school. So being able to interact with them and get to know our kids, it is very important. So if we have this encounter with our kids and being able to use the work technique with our kids is definitely going to break some patterns, some internal patterns that we all have. Because we as parents, sometimes we think we have all the things together and we don't. And many times our children, they know us better than we know ourselves. So thank you guys for sharing this cool technique, Bana.
Ophelia, just one more thing quickly. Just say back to Ron's model. What can I control? I can control myself, really, and that's about it. Most of the time, I'm not even sure if I can control myself most of the time.
I'm going to ask David, if you look at the control model, where do you think you're spending all your time?
With him?
Well, with yourself. Where are you spending all your, your focus and your emotions? On the model that I just talked about, you're spending it on the outside ring, and that's causing you all the stress.
Yes.
Now Vanna's got you to focus back on the center, which is yourself.
Yes, which is myself. And all the practicing at being myself. That's going to work in a lot of other areas as well.
And as what Malka said as well, you know, you only have, or we all only have, slight influences on our children once they get to the age your son is at. But, you know, in my life with my sons, I thought they weren't listening either. But then I had conversations when they went to university, and all of a sudden they kept saying things to me. I thought, oh, you were listening. You know, so they hear a lot more than what you think they hear.
And what they would admit they hear.
That's right, exactly. So, and you know what, they're getting, you're saying he's not prepared for the future, but, you know, all the stuff that you've taught him all these years is teaching him to get ready for the future, because it did for you.
And that's, if I spend more time on looking at what I can influence with myself,
absolutely,
then that allows him, I like that model. And what can he control? So if I put that model over with him and look at what he can control, what he can influence, and what he can do for himself, I can present that model to him.
It's something my sons both have that model as well. And I teach young kids in school, and they get that model as well. It just kind of takes you and makes you realize where you're focusing all your time, emotions. And then you realize, actually, I am wasting my time.
Yeah, with this COVID thing, we're all, I see around that the topic of conversation everywhere you go is what's going on with this? How is this possible? What are you doing? Why can't people be like this? Why can't the government be like this? And all this whole focus is in areas that we have no influence on.
Absolutely.
And it's a topic of conversation.
So that you can change these conversations, so it's focus on yourself and your friends and, you know, how they're doing.
Yes, and what they're doing. I know that I have connections with the people that work in government to handle all these things, like the payments and the unemployment, the employment insurance that we have here, and people still having requirements in their day-to-day life, their social security numbers, their old age pension, that all has to go through this one, Service Canada. And these people are used to handling 20, 30, 40 people a day. And they had to close because they just had to close the doors and say, okay, you can only go online now. They had 100 people waiting in the lobby one day. So what happened to social distancing? And so they had to, what are they going through? I talked to one of them just before the weekend, and she said, oh, yeah, the department altogether, we processed 1 million people in the last week. 1 million in the last week.
It's a huge number.
Yeah, it's huge. And so what kind of things are they encountering?
Like if you go back to the control model again, you can't control that.
No.
You can maybe influence some of their thoughts, or, you know, what they can do, and maybe offer some advice. That's all you can.
Challenges. How are they? Okay, with my son, being attentive to what his frustrations are, and what are their frustrations.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
rather than talk about COVID, what are you frustrated about?
It's funny because, you know, when your kids want to talk to you, they'll talk to you instead of forcing them to talk to you. If they want to ask a question, they'll come and ask you instead of forcing it out of them. And you know what? He's done very well in school so far. So, like Vanna said, why wouldn't he be prepared? He's done very well so far, getting those grades and, you know, all the hard work. Everybody learns a different way.
And I just realized now when I told Vanna that I have to appreciate his frustration and how he has to fill his time. And I look at what's going on with him, and it's my interpretation, not his. Okay, so today he's all excited because he got 2 golden guns on Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's kids. That's what kids do.
Well, that was a huge accomplishment for him because he says, it's been taking me a month to go through this. And so he felt accomplishment. Well, rather than me look at that and go, geez, you spend too much time on that thing. Why aren't you doing some schoolwork? Be, oh, wow. Really? It took you a month to do that?
Yeah.
How did you manage that?
If this happened when you were his age, would you be playing games? Well, I know that, you know, you're probably my age as well. You didn't have those games, but would you be focusing on schoolwork, or would you be out doing other things? You probably wouldn't be studying.
I would be focusing on schoolwork. And if they said I couldn't go anywhere, I'd find a way to go there. I would be out, and we would just be someplace in down by the creek or something like that.
So you're telling him, so you're telling him to do something that you wouldn't even do yourself.
Yes. And when I look at that, that's me and my interpretation and saying, oh, look at what I did. That wasn't good behavior. So I translate that, I impose that onto him, which is not being present with him, it's not being attentive, it's being, what's the word, Ron? Controlling? I can't control it, so I want to control it.
But you can't, so you are wasting your time by trying to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and that's
so
where you're
much,
getting, you know, so, and the end result is stress, overwhelm, frustration.
And I can't put energy onto something that's important to me.
I mean,
I'm frustrated with that and with something else, and I don't put any energy into something that is important to me.
So the question is, what's important to you, and what kind of stuff can you focus on and put energy in to make it better for you?
Right. And the better for me it is, and the better for the people that are stuck in this house with me.
Absolutely, yeah.
Because I don't become a nagging old man, which I've been called already.
Oh, don't worry. I've been called worse, don't worry.
You've been called. It is a great example that you guys are giving us, where we were able to combine the two techniques that you guys are presenting, Ron and Vanna. And thank you, David, again for allowing us to be participant. And this is a bit of an example of what we're going to be doing during the Zoom. So probably spending a little bit less of the time, so we can give another opportunity to the other coaches to share. Before we move into Tamin, we would like to allow Ivanildo to share a little bit of information about, how we're going to be giving access to people who would like to have access to the Zoom. Ivanildo, your microphone is muted. You want to unmute now?
Yes. Hello, everyone. I hope you are enjoying this Zoom session so far with some great coaching strategies from Vanna, Ron, and the story that David is sharing with us. It's always inspiring and amazing for me as well to be a part of this. We would like to connect with you guys more. So we are working on an online platform that hopefully will be available in the next few weeks. And also what we'll do is we'll provide a recorded version of this Zoom session on that platform totally for free. So you can always come back to the community, as we call it, to the platform to watch this recording, but also to interact with us. We want to be present there for you as coaches. So you can ask us questions, you can share your struggles and your stories with us, and we'll be there for you to support you in these troubled times, in these challenging times. So what I will do is I will put my email address in the chat. If you would like to receive access to this platform, to the recording, where I will put we will put the recording of this Zoom session. You can email me, just put in the headline that you want access to the recording of this Zoom, And in the next few weeks, I will make sure that you will get access to this recording and to our platform. So thank you very much so far. And I hope you will enjoy Tameen's coaching strategies as well.
Thank you, Vanilda. Thank you for sharing that information with us. Definitely, we're going to be, if you guys would like to have access to the recordings and techniques that we're going to be sharing, please feel free to send Vanilda the email. That way we can send that information to you guys. And moving on, we're going to be sharing, we're going to be having Tameen with us. She's going to be sharing a technique that we can use in some sort of guided meditation. She's going to be teaching us how to create an internal retreat. But before we move to Tameen, I would like you guys to find a place that is quiet, where you guys are not going to have that much of a noise. If you guys are using your cell phone, maybe put your cell phone in a place where you don't need to be holding it. Let your family know that that you need a quiet place, because I would like you guys to allow Tameen somehow indulge you with her voice and through the walking meditation, so we can allow that healing on our mind, you know, do the job. After we're done with the meditation, we're gonna be opening the questions. So you guys have any question, any recommendations about our next Zoom, please feel free to stay with us. Don't leave us. Follow through the meditation and stay for the excuse and stay with us connected. And with that, I'm gonna give the welcome to Tameen. Tameen, so your microphone is all yours.
Thank you. David, I think your microphone just needs to be muted.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, so hello everyone, and I'm going to be presenting you with a little talk that I'm calling an internal retreat, a heart meditation on gratitude. And it's interesting, actually, earlier what came up when David, you were saying how you need more examples of how you can focus on yourself as well. So this could be a way for you and others to bring the focus back on yourself through the meditation. So first, Ophelia, do you want to put up the slide from my?
Absolutely, thank you. Let me go ahead and do that. Share screens now. We have it here.
Okay, great. Thank you. So first, I want to touch on this topic of the interconnectedness between the mind and the heart. So there's no doubt that our minds are a wonderful tool, which you just saw, that we can use to create a better life and a reality for ourselves. However, let's not forget the wisdom, the intuition, and the intelligence of our hearts, and that they also play a very crucial role in this deeper transformation. Now, scientific research has shown that there is an interconnectedness between our mind and our heart. So scientists have actually established that there is a two-way dialogue between our hearts and our brains, and that the heart can actually communicate with the brain in many ways. For example, they found that there are certain hormones that are produced in the heart that actually affect the functioning of our brain. If you want more information on these amazing findings, you can go to the website of the Heart Math Institute, which gives you a scientific overview of all this great research that is happening at the moment. It has also been shown that when we bring into alignment our brain waves and our heart waves, they go from being jagged to actually being rounded, and they become in sync. They almost look identical, and we get what is called a brain and heart coherence. And this really doesn't take very long to achieve. And even just a couple of minutes are enough. So we can harness our thoughts and our higher emotional states together, thereby empowering ourselves to deal with things like stress, anxiety, and overwhelm. Now, why gratitude? Well, the heart has many elevated emotional states like joy, compassion, love, and also gratitude. Gratitude has been defined as recognizing and acknowledging the gifts that we have been given, either by other people or by a higher power, or even by life itself. So research shows that gratitude generates more happiness, vitality, hopefulness, satisfaction with life, and also resilience. It's found that it can boost your energy. It makes you more creative in your problem-solving capabilities, and it moves you from the victim mode, which can drain your energy, into a more empowered state, so that you are better able to handle life's ups and downs. And it also opens your heart to compassion and to empathy. So it's transforming both your emotional and physical experience for the better. Also, it's important to remember that it's not really that easy to be grateful and fearful and angry or overwhelmed at the same time. And as someone once said, it can really turn what we have into enough. So let's now practice this skill of creating a more peaceful present moment through this meditation on gratitude. So I would like you now to please sit comfortably in your chair, your feet firmly on the ground, your hands loosely by your side, whatever comfortable position that is comfortable and relaxed for you. And now please close your eyes. Take 5 slow breaths, leaving a bit of time after each in-breath and out-breath. 1 cleansing breath in and out, releasing the tension in your body. Now feel relaxation beginning at the bottom of your feet. It might feel like stepping into a warm bathtub, or it may feel like a tingling sensation, or simply calm and loose. Allow the relaxation to spread over your feet and flowing up your lower legs, continuing up to spread throughout your body. Rising now to your hips, to your stomach and lower back, to your chest, upper back and shoulders. Let your arms relax. Let this relaxation spread to your hands, relaxing the palms, the back of your hands, each finger and thumb, until your hands feel pleasantly warm and relaxed. Now let your shoulders relax even further, going up to your neck, to the top of your head. Now think of the COVID-19 crisis that may be causing you to feel overwhelmed, uncertain, fearful. On a scale of 1 to 10, perhaps you are at a 7 or even a 10. In your relaxed state at the moment, I want you to put both of your hands on your heart and physically feel it. Perhaps you can feel your steady heartbeat. Now put your complete focus on your heart. I want you to breathe into your heart. Take 3 breaths in and 3 out and feel the rise and fall of your chest, releasing any tension as you exhale. As you breathe deeply into your heart, can you feel its strength, its steadiness? Now ask yourself this question: what am I grateful for? And allow any images and thoughts to surface. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful for the roof over my head, food in the fridge, family and friends that care for me. I'm grateful for my heart that is beating and keeping me alive. Continue to breathe into the power of your heart. Feel the flow of the oxygen and the blood. This tiny organ, no bigger than your fist, that is pumping 2,000 gallons of blood every day. Feel grateful for your heart. This heart that was gifted to you, for which you did not have to prove how valuable or worthy you are. I'm grateful for, I think somebody's microphone is on. I'm so sorry, it's affecting the meditation. Okay, so you go back, please. I'm grateful for. As you ask yourself again, what am I grateful for? Allow any sensations and feelings to surface. So once again, ask yourself, what am I grateful for? Is there an experience, an event in your life for which you are grateful? A very special moment in time. Now I want you to step into that beautiful moment. Feel that moment in your body as if you are there now. Seeing it, hearing it, feeling it, and breathing like you were then in that sacred, magical moment. Feel it now. Feel like you are there. See it, hear it, breathe it. Let the gratitude for that moment expand your chest. Let it reach the corners of your mouth as they turn upwards into a smile. Let the gratitude soften your eyes. Let that feeling of gratitude for that moment fill you up. Breathe it into your heart and mind. Now finally think of a second moment that you are truly grateful for. Once again, breathe deeply into your heart. This moment can be from today or last week. It can be from 10 or 20 years ago. a special time that fills you up with tremendous gratitude, and breathe that in. Perhaps it was a coincidence, a moment of synchronicity, an unexpected alignment of events, something that provided you with fresh insights. Be there in that moment and breathe it in. Breathe in that gratitude. Now, slowly start becoming aware of your surroundings. Feel the feet on the ground and bring your hands by your side and slowly open your eyes. Now, on that scale of overwhelm that I mentioned earlier, I wonder where you are now. And perhaps now or later, you can put where you are in the chat box. So I invite you now to take this blessing of an open heart and a grateful heart and shine this light on those around you. So think of your heart as a sunflower that is radiating this golden light to all those around you, to your immediate family with you, to the tired woman behind the checkout counter as you get your groceries, to the frowning mother and the smiling child walking past as you take your dog for a walk, to your loved one with whom you may be FaceTiming if they are in hospital, to the overwhelmed paramedic, the doctor, the nurse, all those who are trying their best. Perhaps you can also find a gratitude buddy. So at the end of the day, you can send them a note naming 3 things that you are grateful for and ask them to send the same. Or you can keep a gratitude journal and set aside a little bit of time every day to write about daily pleasant surprises and meaningful gifts. And of course, I don't mean the material kind. It could also be the things that give you joy more generally, or things that you have taken for granted. So try and put into daily practice your time spent in this internal retreat. Because your heart is a temple. It's your sanctuary, your inner space of retreat. Sometimes in these crowded living spaces with your family in this confinement, or even if you're alone, your mind can become crowded with a lot of thoughts of overwhelm and anxiety. And it's not always easy to find a space to retreat to, whether internal or external. But let me remind you that you already have a ready-made space, a cozy, bright, comfortable, safe space within you. And that is your heart, where you can take refuge and shelter for just a few minutes every day to breathe out the tension and to breathe in gratitude. And so let this steadiness and calm be contagious as you honor this shared vulnerability and connectedness. And just as our individual hearts and minds are interconnected, so are we all linked and dependent on each other. Thank you. So I hope that brought you some peace in this present moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Tamin. Thank you for sharing. this guided meditation. What a way to connect with inner soul, with inner pain, within that little paradise that we can find inside of us. I think that the quiet the mind is not easy at all. It's not easy at all. And we'll need somehow through this process of uh, realization that we're going through. We never thought we were going to be one day in a situation like we are right now. Not even in our mind. We always thought that was far away from being us, the one that we're going to experience a pandemic of the dimension that we're experiencing. We see the news, we see social media, we see family, we see society with so much fear, uncertainty, and overwhelm that it's not easy to say and ignore what is going on around the world. So finding a moment where we can quiet the mind and connect with inner selves is so valuable and so healing and so powerful that has no price. So thank you, Tamin. Thank you for sharing that with us. It was a pleasure.
Welcome.
Meeting,
Thank you. Thank you for giving me the chance. Thank you.
That. So Tamin, again, it is kind of difficult to go back and say after this, my guided meditation is difficult to go back and say like, hey, wake up, back into the moment. So now we're gonna start into the questions. Anybody has any question for us, the coaches? As I said, right now, there is 4 of us, 5 of us. We're here open to answer any questions that you guys might have in the topics that we share, in the topics that Vanna shared in regards to one belief at a time and how beliefs affect our reality, or at least the reality that we create, and what information that John shared with us, and how, I'm sorry, Ron, and how to do not stress over the things that you cannot control. We were trying to keep our Zooms to 1 hour, but you know, it is our first Zoom, so thank you for you guys being patient. We're trying to control how things are gonna go. This is the first one of many. So let's start with the questions. Anybody here has any question for us, for Vanna, for Ron, maybe for Tamin? What do you guys think about it? Any suggestions? Anybody here?
Ophelia, how do you want them to present their questions? Do you want them to just unmute and start talking? Do you want them to put it in the chat? How would you like to do it?
Thank you for asking, Malka. I'm getting that itchy on my throat. So what about if they unmute the microphone? Unmute the microphone if you guys have any questions, any suggestions. We're open to suggestions. We're here to grow, to empower each other. How do you feel? Any feedback? Any feedback about this first meeting that we did had? I have also a few other people who they disconnected. I had Giovanni, he was joining us from Australia. For him, it was when we started the meeting, it was 2 a.m. So probably he fell asleep. We have George, who was on Thailand. For him was also 1 a.m. And I had another couple of, we have Ivanildo, who is in Netherlands. So we had people who got disconnected because they were in other countries and it was pretty late for them. But I don't see any other time to meet at the time where we're all connected and awake. Anybody here that might have a question? But you, Minerva, Ricardo, Sandra, Ben,
I do have just a feedback.
Yeah, thank you, Sandra.
Yeah, no, I just want to say that I really enjoyed Tamin's meditation, but just be mindful, everybody, next time we go in, to shut off our microphones because somebody was doing the dishes. It really knocked me off I was the concentrated, really. And it's like, I would have enjoyed more the process, but just be mindful, you know, next time we go in that, you know, if we're gonna get busy, just shut off the microphone.
Microphones. Something that we have to bring it up that next time, because this is not the first time that we're gonna be doing guided meditation. There is a couple of us who are really good about doing meditation, maybe providing different styles of meditation. So something to remember for next time. Thank you, Sandra. Anything else? Anything else, everybody? Do you guys have any questions about beliefs and how to, you know, the things that you might even have any struggles in trying to control our environment, trying to control other people, and or struggles in trying to control ourselves, and being very difficult, which it is actually very difficult to control. But you guys might have any questions or any questions in regards to limiting beliefs that we can help you guys with. No? Okay, any comments, Banner, Ron, David, Tamim, Malka, that you guys want to share before we close Zoom?
May I jump in?
Absolutely, David.
I am very grateful to Vanna. And we use that word grateful sometimes without knowing. We just say, oh, I'm grateful for this because we like it. But to be included and to be accepted, I'm very grateful for that. Those are things that I can't get. They have to be given. And they have to be given willingly. So that's me. I'm being grateful for that. I'm being grateful for the time. I'm being grateful for being with all you. I don't know about the other people that came on and left. I know George enjoys it every time. And Ron, are you still here with us? And
I am here, yep.
And I don't know whether you've been involved with this group for long or come and go. And the dynamic that's here, I'm really grateful for. To be able to share all this. It's so amazing to be able to just have this still ongoing. And yes.
Yeah, this is a great group. I mean, the support and the knowledge that this group contains is unbelievable. You couldn't get, I don't think you can get a better group of people to be with, especially when you're having a bad day.
And during this particular time, it'll take some time for people to come and join us on a Zoom call to be able to jump in and participate and have questions. And I trust that the interaction that Vanna and I had helped people see that they can participate and just come and join and bring stuff. Every day we have reoccurring challenges. They're challenges that are the same challenge with a different face or a different color, but it's kind of like the same challenge that we're going through. Like this challenge today, it takes different forms with my son, but it's the same challenge for me. It's not a challenge for him, it's a challenge for me. And it shows up differently. And here's a place where it's really good to be able to come and say, this is what's going on with me, and have it be in this group. And it doesn't have to be where you walk around with it and I can't go have a beer with the boys and complain. But this group is a group that is allowing and including. And I feel like I personally really get a lot a lot out of it. I see what's going on with people. I see how many things you're accomplishing. Each time I've been around, I don't know, is it 4 years I've been with you? And all the things that you've accomplished, each one, every one of you have accomplished so many great things that I get excited about when I see it.
Mm-hmm.
This is
And
I'm sharing, and I
David,
have a lot to
David.
say. I haven't been around you guys for a while.
Wow, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That's true. You've been with us for almost 4 years. This is a group of people who have been meeting for 5 years. We celebrated our anniversary in the beginning of March. That's when we did have our 5th anniversary. This is the beginning of many, many Zooms and meetings that we are planning. We're embarking in new projects, and hopefully for our next session, we do have a lot more people. We're gonna try to be more organized and allow these conversations to flow. We wanna make it to the point where people, when they connect, they're able to feel able to open up. As you say, David, maybe it is not like you can open a can of beer and start talking to people about your problems. And it's not about talking about problems, but it's talking about solutions. Let's talk about what are the solutions, what are the techniques, what are the strategies that are out there that other people around the world are utilizing, you know, to empower themselves to get better at whatever they're doing. Life is full of challenges and has its ups and downs. And the more we learn to surf the waves, the better. Sometimes we cannot do it alone. We need other people who is vibrating within the same, frequency that we are all. Now, sometimes people or family members, or sometimes even our friends, they're vibrating in a different frequency, to the point that you cannot connect, relate, or share about your situations with them. But you can also do it with other people. So nevertheless, I think our time is up. And let me see what else, what I have. Malka, do you have a question? Yeah, sorry. So I think one quick question, guys. We're still debating on what is going to be a topic that we want to bring up for next session, which is in 2 weeks. We're going to be meeting on Mondays. For right now, on Mondays during the quarantine, taking advantage that mostly everybody's at home. So whoever is right now with us, do you guys have any specific topic that you would like us to talk about on our next session, so we can share strategies and techniques, ideas? Anybody here? Rosa, Sandra, Ricardo? Anybody here? Haba Saif? Thank you for being with us. Chito, Shain, thank you for being with us. And I have 2 iPhones that I don't know their names. But anybody here, any struggles that you guys have been going through for a long, long time, and you're like, I'm tired. And I've been going to therapy and counseling, and I have been able to overcome that something. So what is that something that you guys would like us to probably bring up to the table on our next Zoom meeting?
Ophelia?
Yes.
Can I suggest that they use Ivanildo's email address, and they can just email suggestions of what they'd like to see us talk about, and any other suggestions also?
And now, I don't know, once I close this Zoom account, I don't know if they'll be able to see Ivanildo's email. So if you guys can just copy and paste while we are here, copy and paste Ivanildo's email. So you can send that question to Ivanildo in regards to what topic would you guys like to talk about on our next session. You guys can also use Mind Your Mind Today Facebook platform to ask questions as well if you guys want to. So now I have another question right here. Stress. Okay, I have a person who will be interested in talking about stress. Also, I have Mind Your Mind Today. We're Mind Your Mind Today, but we also have Mind Your Mind Latina. On Mind Your Mind Latina, we're going to have our next week, we're going to be talking about fasting, intermittent fasting. It's going to be an excellent topic also. So hopefully we can bring it up to the table here in Mind Your Mind today as well. Any questions before we leave? We're about to close. I want to let you guys go and continue life in the comfort of your house, traveling from one room to another room, to the living room, to the bathroom, to the kitchen. That's as far as we can go right now. Any question? No? Okay, guys, I just wanna say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for making this possible and for being there, for being a participant, for you guys to the International Empowerment Coaches for making this dream happen. This is something that we've been planning for the past 3 years. This is it.
It's only the beginning.
This is only the beginning. This is only the beginning. And yeah, we have technical issues, but it is part of the game. We just have to follow through. So thank you, everybody. And namaste. How do you say that, Tamin? Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste, everybody. I love you guys.
Namaste, everyone. Thank you.
Namaste.
Thank you, Ophelia. I love
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye,
Thank
Ophelia.
you.
Love you
Bye.
guys.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Good.
Rose is still with us. That's great. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Vanna. Thank you, Ophelia.
Thank you, David. Thank you. Bye.
It's good practice. So we have to get off the Zoom. We can go on Skype.
Yes.